Welcome to Yin Yoga. I'm Christy. Let's take a breath. So today we're going to talk about support. It can often feel like we're going through life really on our own, that we have so much burden on our shoulders and things are difficult and we're the only ones who really experience things exactly the way we experience them. Nobody else can really know exactly what we're feeling, even though we may be having similar experiences. It can still feel like we're in it all alone. But when we look, there really is support all around us, and sometimes we have to ask for it. And I know for me that's a challenge, is asking for help, right? Because again, I've got to do everything myself. So there's all kinds of reasons behind why we're programmed that way. But our nervous systems is part of why our nervous systems get dysregulated, because we feel like we're in this thing all alone. So looking for all the support that's around us, even if you're just kind of conjuring it up yourself in your mind and you're creating those sensations in your body, that's real. We create those sensations within us. So that can be really helpful. I had to go for a bunch of medical tests, right? I had to have blood work, I had to have a CT scans, I had dye injected, and that was really not so fun. But there was this great team of medical people who were just so kind and sweet and supportive. So even though while I was the only one experiencing that exact thing and, the stress that brought on, worrying about what might be wrong, which ended up being nothing wrong, thank goodness. So that can feel like very alone when we have medical things going on. But there was this beautiful team around me to support me, and to do these tests and, show what is or isn't happening and figure out a path to move forward. So that's the kind of thing we're gonna focus on today. All right. So we may want props. Props are another way that we can feel support for our bodies, the support to let go into. Yeah, that was right. So I've got 2 blocks. If you want to use a rolled up blanket as we've been doing, or a towel, if you don't have blocks, you could use a pillow, something like that. So, all right, so let's begin on the floor. It's the only thing that I'm really loving. Did I say this last week? That I'm really loving about just being on the floor lately. There's something I find very soothing about being on the floor and just really feeling this support, like this solid, firm support under the whole body. So let's lie down. I'm going to put a block under my head. All right, so feel the floor underneath your back. You feel that. Maybe bring the soles of your feet onto the floor and feel the solidness of the floor. Taking a few deep breaths. And see if you can soften a little bit into the floor. So begin to imagine that support of the earth. And so there's the solidness of the floor and all the materials that came from the earth. So maybe you're going to think about all the people who built the structure that you're in, and you can think of that as support, that somebody built, your home, and there's people who create all these different things for us to support our being. But you can take it down to the earth and feel the support that the earth gives us. It gives us this place to live, it gives us air, it gives us food, water. So try to feel that energy of the earth, that support coming up from the earth. So even if you're several stories up, right, you can feel that flowing up. You can imagine that energy flowing up from the earth. And feeling your body held and supported by the earth. And so maybe there's even just that connection of hearing my voice, that you can feel that sense of support just through somebody's voice, through my voice in this moment. We are in some way connected. Let's see if we can pull the knees in a little bit. So we're just going to play with a few different ideas about support. And what sort of clicks for you on any given day may be different. Just like all the poses and the movements that we do, some days they may feel right and some days they may not. So we're just going to play with some concepts of support. And then you can see if anything resonates for you. And maybe you have your own things that you're going to focus on. All right, let's see if we can do a little heavy baby. So we're going to take the knees wide. We're going to reach for the feet, bring the soles of your feet together, try to pull them in towards you. So if that's not super duper intense, then maybe the feet will separate. And if you find that's too much, you're just bringing your feet back together. So again, being just in this moment. What position of the body, what movement is going to help your body to feel supported? And breathe out. And then let your feet come back down. We're going to do a full body stretch. So let your feet come down to the floor. Let your legs lengthen out. Take a breath. And then bring your arms overhead. So if you have something to place under your head like I do. All right. So I just have a block, which I often do just because of my neck and vertigo issues. I often find that having a block under my head feels supportive. It feels like it's going to protect me from vertigo kicking in. So if you have a block under so if you have something to put under your head, it might feel nice. When you bring your arms up overhead, a little deeper stretch through that upper back. All right, beautiful. And we're going to let our arms come on down. And we're going to have feet walk up onto the floor. We're just going to do a little reclining pigeon here. So bring your right ankle and rest it on top of your left thigh. And this may be your spot here today, just letting your left foot hang out on the floor. Maybe that's really comfortable and calming and soothing and that feels right. Or you can try to bring this left leg up and hold the back of the leg with both hands, squeezing in. And then working on letting your shoulders relax here. Can you let your feet and ankles relax a little bit? You're still feeling that sense of the floor and the earth holding you. All right, let's release. We're gonna bring right foot up towards the ceiling. Left foot's gonna come down. Hang on to the back of your right leg. If it feels right, you can extend your left leg along the floor. If that doesn't feel okay, bring the foot back up onto the floor. But you might change where you're holding the leg. If it's a little bit intense, you can walk your hands down, lower. If it's not so intense today, maybe you're gonna reach up. So not happening. I thought I was going to be able to get my toe easily. No, not happening. So from just this medical testing and, worrying about, was there something going on? I have definitely been having a lot of extra tension in my body. So if that's happening for you, you're just feeling a little extra tight today, use your breath. So the breath is also a great support tool. All right, we're gonna let this right leg come down, and if it feels right, bring your arms past your head. So at one point during my testing, I almost passed out. Luckily, I was sitting down, but I could just feel that sense of, everything going a little bit dark, and I broke out into sweat. And so in that moment, I just really focused on the sensation of my breath. And just really just for me, that's just always like my go-to when something's really freaking me out is, okay, I'm breathing. Everything is okay, I'm breathing. So you might start to play with that here. Let's, as we go into the other side of reclining pigeon, let's bring left ankle on top of the right thigh. And again, you can hold on to the back of your right leg. So if it's comfortable, maybe just connecting with your breath, just witnessing it flowing in and out of the lungs. So at the moment, this is not the easiest pose for me to breathe in. Allergies are kicking up a little bit, but still, I can find reassurance, even though I'm struggling a little bit. I can find reassurance in the fact that I am breathing. And then we're gonna let the right foot come down, left foot up towards the ceiling. So again, hang on to the back of the left leg. And then let this left leg come on down. We're gonna let the legs lengthen out. And again, if it feels right, bring your arms past your head. And then we're going to take it into a twist. So this is where we're going to start to hold. We're going to do some yin poses here. So we're going to let the knees drop over to the right side. Now, if you want to do a different twist, I'm kind of exploring here, observing, how's my twist feeling in this moment? This may be my spot here. If you want to come into a cat pulling its tail. So if you want to change your twist, any twist at all that you like, that you feel like you want to do right now is fine. We're going to try to, if you're coming into cattail, you're going to bring, you're like really rolling to your right side. You're bringing the left leg across to the right side. And then that right leg, if you can walk it back a little bit, then the front of that right leg starts to turn down a little bit more towards the floor. You can either be further back. I usually can't get both shoulder blades down on the floor in this pose. If you're able to do that, you can be there. If that's not working for you, you can also be a little bit more on your side. So you can have something under your head Or sometimes I'll prop my head with my right hand here. And then you can try to reach back for your right foot with your left hand. You can give it a little squeeze in so you're stretching quads. You can let the foot drift out. So as we're holding the twist, again, be really mindful, be really present of what you're experiencing in the pose. And if you need to shift a little bit or change something, maybe you need to back up a little bit, or the body might start to let go a bit, and maybe you'll shift a little bit for that reason. So keep breathing. And feel that support of the floor beneath you. And then begin to imagine just really almost like a circle of energy around you. Maybe as though there were a group of people around you in a circle, just offering you love and support. It doesn't have to be specific people, they don't have to have faces, just imagining a group of people. It could be your ancestors. It could be spiritual guides. Just imagining supportive energy all around you. Feeling that support of the earth beneath you. And support all around you. release the side, letting go. And just take note, like, were you able to keep your mind focused on that sense of support flowing in? Did that work for you? And did your mind wander off? Mine always does. That's an image that I can usually hang on to relatively well, or I can keep coming back to it. So you're just gonna, again, notice, did that resonate with you? Or did it not? All right, I'm just gonna flip, but you can just be on your back. Oh, I'm not gonna flip, I'm just gonna kind of roll around. Grab my block here. All right, so we're gonna take it to the left side. So again, however you wanna do your twist here. Just knees nice and easy to the side, or if you're gonna come into cat pulling its tail, rolling to your left, bring the right leg over, see if you can take the left leg back. Again, so it starts to feel like the front of that hip, the front of the thigh is starting to turn down towards the floor. And then you can reach back for that left foot with your right hand. Again, coming into that sense of the floor holding you, the earth holding you. And now imagine that there's healing energy all around you. So it could again be that same circle of beings, alive, or spirits, ancestors, spiritual guides. And you don't have to have any particular, faith or religion or anything to imagine, just some kind of spiritual entity around you. But any way you want to imagine, healing energy flowing towards you. And then how does that flow in? Does it sit sort of on the surface or create an energetic bubble around you, or does it flow into the body? Letting healing energy come to you. Just let it go. All right, see if you can roll right onto your abdomen. And let yourself be flat here. Now we're going to bring it into a Sphinx pose. So resting on the lower arms, a little back bend here. Be mindful of your back, your lower back. If it's too much, feet come out wider, or you can shrink down, or you could be flat altogether. It's better for you. And so feel again the support of the earth, the support of the floor, now along the front of the body. So we were somewhat on the sides of the body and on the back of the body, and now just letting the whole front of the body feel that support of the floor and the earth below. Begin to imagine that you're resting on the most comfortable thing ever. You can be anywhere that you like, so you can imagine yourself, maybe you're on vacation and you're in the most comfortable feather bed, or you're floating in a pool or something. Maybe you're just out in the field of the softest grass on a soft blanket that's as though you're just kind of floating on something. So imagine your body resting on something really soft, but that completely has you. It's just completely holding your body. You feel safe and secure, but also just this sense of complete ease, that there are no pressure points on the body. There's just complete softness. The body being fully supported, but also completely relaxed. Let go a little bit more into that imaginary soft support. we're going to shift out of here, slow and easy. And we're going to push into a child's pose. The knees can be closer, knees can be wide. You can always change it. Yeah, I'm going to go wide here. Try to let your head come down onto your mat, your blanket, onto your arms. And then we're going to come to seated. All right, let's do, I'm feeling like a half butterfly. So beginning from soles of the feet together is maybe a good way to come into this. You might want pillows or something under your arms, maybe blocks if you have them. So we're going to start with, yes, that's how we're going to do it? No, let's start. All right, let's start. I think it's easier if we start with feet wide. So we're going to start with feet wide. Oh, there we go. We're going to pull the right foot in. So we're going to fold forward over, kind of over this right foot and ankle. So again, if you want props, you can put something under your arms. So here's where, we can start to feel, whether you're using the floor, maybe if you have a blanket, you can feel the support of the blanket. But if you're using sort of soft blocks or a pillow, you can feel that tactile support. There's a little bit of softness. So just like what we were just visualizing about something soft supporting your body. Well, now you really have something that you can rest on that has a little bit of a sense of softness, a bit of give to it. So again, coming into that sense of the physical body being supported and held by the floor. And so the more we tell our nervous systems that we're safe in situations, where we really are safe, right? It's part of how we start to regulate our nervous systems, to calm it down, is to keep reinforcing, when we are safe, we are in a place of safety, to just really reinforce those sensations, feeling the floor holding you. And then begin to imagine that any form of support that you need, in any way, whatever that is, maybe you don't even know what kind of support you need. Imagine that any kind of support that you need is flowing in to you. It is on its way, it's in transit, it's coming to you. So whatever that support is, emotional support, financial support, maybe it's some kind of, support for around family things, caretaking, support in figuring something out. Just imagine any and all kind of support that you need is already on its way, flowing to you. just for this last minute here. Imagine yourself asking for the support you need. Imagine receiving that support when you ask. Come on up. We're gonna straighten out this right leg. Maybe lean back a little bit. Ooh, wiggle your toes. Take a breath. And then we're gonna do feet wide, and we're gonna pull the left foot in. And we're gonna fold forward. Once more, reminding yourself of that support of the floor and of the earth. So now imagine that you have all the support that you need. Imagine that support has arrived. And what would that feel like? All right. We're gonna release the sides. All right, moving up. Okay, so one more pose we're gonna do before Shavasana. We're gonna do heart bench. So I often keep a thick block and a thin block together, and sometimes I like the thicker block under my back. Sometimes I like the thinner one. Today I'm gonna try the thicker one. So if you have two blocks, we're gonna do a heart bench. So long, thin edge rather than the big flat edge. Longer edge is going to go along on the floor. Your spine's going to lie on top of it. So we're placing our heart on top of the block, and then head goes on the taller one. I have some students who like having their head tipped back, and so they'll put their block lower. For me, not a good place to be. So I'm going to support my neck here. All right, if you're using a towel or a blanket or some other prop, rolled up yoga mat, anything at all, you can roll it up and you're gonna lie on it so that the whatever prop you're using goes right below your shoulder blades. But if you're doing the block, you're trying to get your shoulder blades kind of to either side of the block, and you may have to adjust where exactly it is along your spine, whether it's higher or lower on the spine. I'm going to give myself a moment here to figure out where I'm going. All right, I think I'm okay. I could be completely wrong in a minute here, but I think I'm okay. All right. So working on breathing. Adjust a little bit. Legs can be anywhere you like. And so now take your mind into the heart center. And imagine there a well of unconditional love. A bottomless well, a never-ending well, never-ending source, supply of unconditional love. Maybe it's divine love. Just imagine that energy of love at the heart center. See if you can imagine the sensation of that energy of love, unconditional love, expanding outward. Feeling the support of the prop and the floor. And the unconditional love that lives inside of you. Come back to that image of a circle of support around you. Feeling unconditional love flowing through you. A circle of unconditional love and support all around you. All right, so we're going to come off the prop and try to be at least somewhat flat. And then wherever you want to be for Shavasana. And here again, let yourself rest. So maybe combining some of the imagery we used, or maybe you're going to use your own. Feeling the support of the earth. Maybe again, feeling that you're resting on something unbelievably soft that really has your body held with ease. Feeling a circle of love and support all around you. The energy of love flowing through you. And perhaps even a connection to everything and everyone. Take a deeper breath. That is how you are. Maybe move fingers, toes, wrists, ankles. Stretch your arms past your head. And then if you like, you can roll to one side. I feel like the way I'm positioned, there's all that lamps like sitting right on top of my head behind me. All right, but if you're coming up, come on up. And then hands can be wherever you like. They can rest on your legs. They could be across your heart, really connecting with that love that lives inside of you. Or there could be hands in prayer here at the heart. Take a nice full inhale. Exhale it out. Thank you for sharing in this practice today. Namaste.